Okay, so we spoke a little while ago, maybe, or maybe I've yet to speak about it, I don't know, about intervals and the major scale, and the major scale being the foundation of everything that we do in Western music. And it occurred to me that I didn't actually show you how to construct a major scale, which is what we're going to do now. This is another one of those quick videos that eventually turn into a 15-minute video. This time I've got a guitar so that you can see the guitar, you can see what I'm doing, and hopefully it's in tune. Close enough again, that's good, I think that is in tune, bravo. So, if you've watched the video about intervals, you might remember that every note has a relationship to the root of the scale. In fact, every note has a relationship to every other note, and that's what you can define as a perfect fourth, minor second, octave, whatever it might be. And the scale is, of course, the bucket that we put all that in. Scale, incidentally, it's from Latin scala, ladder, to scale, ladder. And in the major scale, the intervals that we're interested in, starting from the root which is the first, it goes root, so the intervals rather are tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So, starting from the low E, we know that on the guitar board every fret is a semitone, so that's a semitone, okay? 2 frets is a whole tone, 3 frets is 1.5 tones, 4 frets being 2 tones, 4 frets, 2 tones. So starting from the low E, we can go tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, okay? Tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Now can you see the frets that I was on there? I started on the open E, second, fourth, fifth, seventh, ninth, 11th, and then 12 as octave. Root, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. So that's going up the board, okay? Now, excuse me, as I've mentioned a couple of times before, the cool thing about the guitar is that we can go up the neck this way, we can also go across the neck, and that's where the power really lies. So we're going to do the same now. Starting with A, if I start on the A string and play the major scale, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone, A string, A is the root, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. And now if I pick another A, our old friend, the 5th fret on the low E string, remember that's the 5th fret on the low E string is the same as the open A string. There's a relationship for you, okay? One of those things that allow you to recognise where you are on the neck. We'll do more about that in a different video. But I can go like this. Tone, and I can go another tone. Or I can do this. tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. There's our octave. Root, tone, tone, semitone, tone, 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 semitone. Now, that's really cool because it allows us to construct chords. Now that we've got our scale laid out in this pattern, this box that you can recognise, if you look at the pattern that I make with my fingers, I can take that anywhere. I know that's an A, okay? And I've just played the major scale. A major scale, A is the root. Now, because I know, we spoke about this a little while ago, about memorising the note names on the E and the A strings. If I go to a different root, let's pick C. C is the 8th fret on the low E string. If I play the same pattern, so I'm going to play this pattern, A major scale. Now if I go to C, and I play the same pattern, now this is one of the powerful things about guitar. I can take patterns and I can move them around. And that pattern also works going that way. Okay? So, we must beware of the B string. The B string gets in the way of everything. But if we're aware of that, let's just stick to the E and the A strings, okay? If we just stick with those two, and I know that that's an A, I know that below every, going up the neck, going across the neck that way rather, above every A is a D. And there's a one there as well. The open strings, A to D. Same pattern is here, A to D. That's another one of those things you can do to recognise the note names. I can play a D major scale like this using exactly the same pattern. Here's an A major scale. Now I take that pattern, just shift it across one string, D major. Move it up 2 frets, a whole tone. E major. If I go back the other way, I know that below an E is a B. If I go up here, look, there's an open E, high E string. I go to this next string down is a B. So I know that from my E, there's a B directly below it. Here's the E major scale. I just come back down a string. Now I happen to know that that's a B because that's a C, that's a B. But if I didn't and I just wanted to drop down to a B, I could play my B major scale. Okay, A, B. Now there's no semitone between B and C, remember, so I play my C major scale. Now look at this. Here's my B, there's my E. Now, this is interesting, look at this one. 5 frets up from that. We know that's an A. That is the 12th fret, which is an octave of the open A string. But quite aside from that, 5 frets down from there is our E, which means that 5 frets up from there and drop the string down is the E. We also know that that's the 12th fret, and there's the octave. So what I'm getting at here is that all of these things now, we've done a couple of videos together, and all of these things are starting to lock in. We know that the guitar's tuned in perfect fourths, lost the ability to play. The guitar's tuned in perfect fourths, which means that whenever I play an E, there's an A above it. Also, if I play a high E, there's always a B below it. Okay, now if I play a D, there's the octave of D, there's always a G above it. Now there's a C here, so what's going to be above that next string up? It's a G. Now also I can tie that in with the fact that it's the 5th fret of the D string, and we know that the 5th fret on the next string down is the next string up. Quelle surprise. I told you the guitar was in tune and I lied. So anyway, this is getting interesting now because we can play the major scale shape, and if we know our root note, we can play any major scale from there. E major. Okay, we can play C major. G major. That wasn't G major. And I know that if I've got the perfect fourth, the next string above it has that relationship. So there's my A. I know that that's going to be a D. I've got that D there. I know that that's going to be a G. Okay. Hopefully these things are starting to tie in now. If this is getting a bit funny to think about, there's two things that I'm aiming for here. First thing, relationships across the neck. If I know what that note is, I know what the note above it is and what the note below it is on the same fret. I know what the note 2 frets up is, a whole tone. I know what the note 2 frets down is, a whole tone and a semitone. I know what the octave is at the 12th fret. I now know the major scale shape. I know my 1, 4, 5. To play my blues. I can also play power chords now. We're starting to get into rock territory because power chords are 1, 3 and 5. Now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I want 1, 5. I also want a 3. I can't play that one because it's below, but I play the one above, the octave. It's getting a bit complicated now, but hopefully things are making sense, in as much as this is, as those dreadful Americans say, where the rubber meets the road. Because we can recognise that notes on the neck have a certain position and have a note name assigned to them, and we can reference other notes from that note by our major scale. We can now play all sorts of stuff. Incidentally, the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 system, instead of doing A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, whatever, that's wrong, that doesn't work well, that's C. C major, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C. Okay. We could also go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and that's exactly what they do in Nashville. Nashville, the home of country music. They don't necessarily use the ABC system, they use the 1, 2, 3 system. It works just as well. We could call it flowers, daffodils, dinosaurs. It really doesn't matter, so long as they're unique. Okay, in fact maybe we'll do that, and maybe we'll have the dinosaur scale. Dinosaurs, pterodactyl, and then diplodocus, and then pick another dinosaur. Okay, hopefully that makes a bit more sense now. And if you've seen one of my previous videos and it didn't make sense because I was talking about intervals and wasn't showing you the major scale shape, here it is again. Incidentally, that's just the first of the major scale shapes. There's 5 more that fit into that, and this is called the caged system, C-A-G-E-D. But that's a bit more complex, and I'm not sure that I'm entirely qualified to teach that or even explain it. Get a book. Oh, books. You ever go to charity shops? You're always finding music books. I always look for the music books and I generally buy them because there's always something there that I don't know. But it's always cool to pick up these theory books. These are theory books for children. Theory is fun. Grade 5, grade 4, da, da. These, you can buy these for pennies, right? And if you don't understand this stuff, pick them up, read through them. These ones by Eric Taylor, ABRSM books. You frequently see those. You know, I've stopped buying these now because they're so frequently there, and you buy them 50p. You know, this one. Oh blimey! I bought these in 2013 apparently. You buy them cheaply. If you want the about music theory, this one also by Eric Taylor, ABRSM book. This is the foundational text for music theory. This is the one that everybody has. Every music student has a copy of this somewhere, generally more than one. It's got everything you need to know about music theory in it, but actually it's got more than you'll need to know. It's an excellent book. It gets quite deep quite quickly, but if you're willing to put the hours in, AB Guide to Music Theory by Eric Taylor is the one to get. You can get them on eBay for a couple of quid. But always look in charity shops for music theory books. I also buy the children's piano books and children's guitar books because again there's always something in there that I've not thought about looking at in a certain way. I'm babbling again. Thank you for listening. As always, if you want to learn more about that, please let me know because I'm enjoying this, and I think it might be nice to have a set of all these in some sort of order. Let me know what you think. Speak to you in a minute.